Fight some, whatever I say is not going to make any difference to that. But, you know, boxing's not for 60-year-old guys, that's for sure. But let's get it right. Mike Tyson's 58 years of age and he shouldn't be fighting. It's as simple as that. If it was an exhibition, you'd get half away with that. But the fact that Texas, good old Texas, have basically licensed a 58-year-old to fight. I mean, you know, what does anybody need to say about that? Anyone with an ounce of brains knows what that is ridiculous.
Boxing promoter Frank Warren has recently slammed the idea of a Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight and called it ridiculous. Furthermore, Mike Tyson's former opponent Lennox Lewis shared that he was surprised to hear about the Tyson versus Paul fight. Lennox gave more weight to Mike Tyson in the fight since he knows how to throw good body and head punches.
And what did you initially think when you heard that Mike Tyson was going to be getting in the ring with Jake?
I was thinking that Jake Paul was going to be in trouble because, you know, Mike Tyson knows how to throw great body punches, great head shots. And, you know, we just have to see if he's going to do them in the ring.
Moreover, Simon Dawson thinks that it's a great innovation that a young YouTuber like Jake Paul is going up against a legend like Mike Tyson. Dawson acknowledged that Tyson has come out of dark times before when he came out of prison and won back his belts. However, Simon was skeptical whether Tyson can do the same thing once again given the age bracket that he is in.
I mean, Tyson will see it as a big payday. That's the thing, Simon.
Well, I think it's difficult to disagree with anything that Frank has just said. I mean, look, the tragedy of it all is he physically able to do it? There's debates about his physical health. From the legacy point of view, I grew up watching Mike Tyson and some of the declines, obviously, but notably the high peaks of his career from 86 onward until he lost to Buster Douglas and then came back and wins his belts back after coming out of prison. I admire Jake Paul for the innovation. I think he's a product of his environment in times with the YouTube generation that are able to make money out of rolling marbles down a slide into water.
Moreover, Lennox commented that it may be hard to believe that Tyson can throw punches and move around in the ring as well as take punches at that age. Lewis is convinced that Mike Tyson can hold his own in the fight and take over the problem child.
It's a task. You know, it's hard to box at when you're that old, moving around the ring, throwing punches, getting punches thrown at you.
Meanwhile, Mike Tyson's coach believes that he trains like any young fighter and he puts his heart and mind into training. Mike Tyson never goes into a fight expecting a loss. He only goes into a fight if he knows he can win. Tyson's coach is the one getting hit with those devastating punches in the social media videos while wearing pads.
Then you have to see Mike the way he trained. He trained exactly the same way the new generation trains, sometimes more than that. So it's no news for me. I was expecting to see Mike at least fight 2 more times. This is what we're looking for. And then when we hear about Jake, I say, man, Mike can fight against anyone. I see with good eyes what I can see in the gym every single day, his energy, the way he put his strength is unbelievable. The people they have surrounded him, Mike can fight against anyone. It is what we believe. He never gonna put his name in something, then I truly believe he can go there and put a great show. I believe Mike gonna put a great show. He trained hard every single day. He, you know, when he put focus on something, it's amazing to see. Like I said before, I learn every single day. I see his reaction about everything, and you guys can expect a great show.
Although Frank Warren may be counting out Tyson, Jeff Mayweather believes in the power that Mike Tyson possesses. He shared that Mike only needs 1 punch to knock out the problem child Jake Paul, but Paul would need a lot more than that to take down Mike Tyson.
I mean, I just think that, like I said, I think that Mike Tyson only needs 1 punch. Jake Paul gonna need a whole lot more than 1 punch. He's not gonna knock no Mike Tyson out.
Frank Warren further commented that it's not boxing's fault that these types of matchups are happening, rather it's the people who are buying the fight. Warren acknowledges Tyson as a great puncher and knockout artist, but refuses to accept that Mike will win the fight.
We know he can punch, he's a big puncher, and it is what it is, but people will watch it. They will watch it, and that, at the end of the day, is the reason that both the guys are stepping into the ring and getting and will make money from it. And that you can't, you know, that You can't blame boxing for that. That's not boxing's fault. That's the people who are by its fault.
Meanwhile, Frank Warren explained that this sort of matchup would never be allowed in many states or countries, including the UK and Saudi Arabia. However, he shared that it is happening in Texas and the state, as well as the people are allowing it, since it's an official fight and not an exhibition. Warren was worried since both fighters would be going for the knockout and can seriously hurt each other, but said that the people would have to deal with the serious consequences that might come with it.
Because they've made it official, and it's not against the law, it's legal, but it's not, for example, the British Boxing Board of Control, if it was in this country, it wouldn't be allowed. I don't think, it certainly would not be allowed in Saudi. I know that because the board are also operating there, and the Saudis wouldn't want it. You know, in a lot of countries and a lot of states, it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen in New York, it wouldn't happen in Vegas. But, you know, that, as you say, could be the perception. But I think, you know, it's really difficult to. I'm a big believer, if you're over the age of 21, and Mike Tyson's certainly over the age of 21, you know, it's your life. You can do what you want to do with it, provided that you're not affecting other people. If people want to facilitate that and make it happen and so forth, then they have to accept the consequences. God forbid anything goes wrong.
Former boxer Bernard Hopkins gave the analogy of Michael Jordan coming out of retirement to face the big three of basketball. Bernard shared that everybody would love to see Mike Tyson fight an opponent because they will all come and watch Tyson instead of Jake Paul. Hopkins explained the real reason why this fight is selling tickets.
What's the first thing that you would say to yourself? Michael Jordan comes out of retirement and plays on the big three.
I watch it. I mean, because I'm a addict of sports and stuff like that.
Would you buy it?
Man, how much is it?
Doesn't matter.
If it's cheap enough, it's cheap enough.
What are you watching it for? Because it's Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
That's the same reason that people will watch Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, because it's Mike Tyson.
Additionally, Frank Warren shared his prediction for the epic Paul versus Tyson showdown on November 15th. He said that if Tyson manages to hit Jake with some good shots early on, then Jake is in deep waters, but no one can change the fact that Tyson is 58 years old. Warren stated that no one in their right state of mind could believe that an old man can overpower a 27-year-old teen. Frank slammed the boxing commission for allowing such a dangerous fight to happen.
Who's at more at risk in this fight? Jake Paul or Mike Tyson?
Well, if Mike Tyson clips him in the first or second round, Jake Paul. But at the end of the day, you've got to think the 58-year-old guy is going to be the one who's at risk. I mean, you know, he's the one who's. Look, let's get it right. A 58-year-old boxing.
Yes,
I mean,
yes,
come on. That's all you need to know. I mean,
no, you're right.
There's no argument other than that. I mean, if that comes across a commission's desk and they rubber stamp that, I mean, come on, you know, what hearing did they have there, you know, their commission, and they all sat round and take.
On multiple occasions, Jeff Mayweather still believes that Mike's fight with Jake would be beneficial for him financially, and it would not hurt Tyson's legacy. If Jake Paul manages to win against Mike Tyson, then all the fans would favor Tyson because of his age. But if he loses, then it's because Mike Tyson was just that powerful. Jeff, on the other hand, is convinced that it's a lose-lose situation for Jake all the way.
It's beneficial for him either way. I mean, because no one thinks he's gonna win, and if he wins,
I think most educated boxing fans will think that he's gonna win.
Well, they ain't educated then.
I mean, I was gonna say, don't you think it's kind of a no lose or no win situation for Jake?
I think it's a no lose situation for Jake.
If he loses, well, if he wins, so what? He beat a almost 60-year-old guy that hasn't been on a winning streak in decades.
That much is true.
And if he loses, he lost to Mike, a guy at 60 years old.
He lost to Mike Tyson.
A 60-year-old.
And that's like, okay, we all expected that.
On the contrary, former professional boxer Evander Holyfield faced Mike Tyson 2 times and won. Holyfield revealed a terrifying strategy that may allow Jake Paul to win against Mike Tyson.
Because, it's with the confidence the other guy. I don't know how much confidence that Jake Paul have in all this, but he's gonna be a lot quicker. And if he stay close to Mike, then his chance of winning gonna be great. But he tried to stay back from Mike. He gonna get caught.
In addition to his previous comments, Frank Warren called the bout absurd and ridiculous. Warren is a big fan of Jake as a promoter and the side businesses that he is doing, but he can't accept the fact that he is fighting an out-of-prime fighter like Mike Tyson.
I'm a big fan of Jake Paul as a promoter, and Nikita, his business partner. They're very smart operators, and they obviously see this as a fight that will generate public interest and obviously money. But let's get it right, Mike Tyson's 58 years of age and he shouldn't be fighting. It's as simple as that. If it was an exhibition, you'd get half away with that, but the fact that Texas, good old Texas, have basically licensed a 58-year-old to fight. I mean, you know, what does anybody need to say about that? Anyone with an ounce of brains knows what that is ridiculous.
On the other hand, former MMA fighter Chael Sonnen expressed his beliefs on the Mike versus Jake matchup. He said that Mike Tyson is chasing the glory and he may just end up beating Jake Paul.
Mike Tyson came out, and Mike Tyson is supposedly has a fight with Jake Paul coming up in a number of months. Now, I never really overly believed that, but this interview that Mike Tyson just did made me start thinking, okay, this thing is more real than perhaps a hater like Chael thought it was. Because Mike Tyson has come out and said, I know if Jake Paul fights somebody before he fights me and he loses, I don't get the opportunity. And I really want the opportunity because I think I can beat him.
Martial artist and actor Michael Jai White made a stunning revelation about the Jake versus Mike Tyson fight. He shared that Paul is in big trouble if he thinks that he can beat the legendary Mike Tyson. White was adamant at putting Tyson on top and doesn't see Jake winning at all.
It was announced recently that Mike Tyson, age 57, is going to be fighting Jake Paul, age 27, on July 20th. On Netflix, which is, I think, a first for Netflix to actually have a live fight.
Yeah, right. I think so.
Who you got?
I got Mike Tyson.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't see how Jake pulls this off.
Dana White is spot on with his prediction for the Mike Tyson fight. Dana thinks that it's unfair that Jake Paul is taking on older opponents and making a living off of beating them.
What do I think of the Mike Tyson fight?
Yes.
Tyson's 58 years old. You know what I mean? Jake fought a guy who was his age and was also considered a boxer, and he lost.
You know, say what you want about Dana White. I don't agree with him on a lot of things, but, you know, I couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, Dana hit the nail right on the head here.
So if you can keep fighting 50-something-year-olds, you don't think Tyson has a chance? And making a living at it. I think that Mike Tyson has a puncher's chance against anybody. Mike shouldn't be fighting.
Furthermore, Jake Paul shared that he is going into the fight to end Mike Tyson, and he doesn't care what the people think. Paul was committed to murdering the former legend and stated that if people are angry for what he is doing, then they should go and watch any other sport.
And out if that does happen.
But yes, I'm going in there, and now it's a pro fight. It's on my record, and I'm going to put him down. And if people are pissed about it, then watch soccer. Go watch some volleyball, whatever it is that you want to do, but don't watch boxing.
Mike Tyson genuinely believes that he can beat Jake Paul, and he would never go in any fight expecting a loss. He also shared that he was always going to fight Paul since Jake fought on Tyson's undercard a few years back.
So I know you here in Las Vegas training, getting ready for your match coming up with Jake Paul. Man, how did this fight come about and how you feeling in your training?
I really don't know. I fought the exhibition with Roy Jones.
Yes.
And he was on the card. As time went on, he started building a name for himself. It was a no-brainer that the two of us should get together, and we made a decision to do it.
How much at this stage in life do you enjoy doing this stuff, or is the business just too good to walk away from?
This fight is not going to change my lifestyle financially. I'm a fighter. I feel good. I could do it. I feel I can beat this guy.
On another occasion, Frank Warren expressed his concerns for the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul bout. He shared that boxing is not for 60-year-old people, even though he acknowledged Jake Paul as a good promoter.
Made my opinion made. I don't think people that age should be fighting, but as long as he's medically fit and he's found fit to box, that's his choice, you know. And Jake, I've got a lot of respect for him, and Nikita, his business partner. They're very shrewd guys, and the fight's on. Whatever I say is not going to make any difference to that. But, you know, boxing's not for 60-year-old guys, that's for sure.
Moreover, Mike Tyson shared that he is not a nice guy and no one can expect him to be nice. He is going into the Jake Paul fight with all the bad intentions and he genuinely wants to hurt the problem child. Tyson further explained the difference between doing something for himself and doing something for others to make them happy.
I'm not a nice person, no. I'm a decent person. I try to do the right thing, but a nice person I am not.
You'll be, you won't be nice to people, but you'll be kind. I'm just wondering, to you, what is the difference? Or yeah, you said you're not, you don't need to go out and make friends.
I think being a nice guy is looking for friends, trying to make people happy, going out your way to make someone happy. I'm not gonna go out my way to kiss somebody to make them happy, to make them have a great day. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just not that guy. That's what a nice guy is, to pretty much neglect themselves for someone else's happiness.
Brendan Schaub did a very unique take on the Mike Tyson fight. He shared all the scenarios in which Tyson could lose, Jake could lose, or there could be a no decision, which would be a horrible business model.
I love Mike Tyson, love Jake. I hope it fucking crushes, but for the life of me, I cannot figure out the upside to this. Let's go through the scenario here. If you're Jake, so you knock him out, horrible, dude. What the f? You just beat up an old man. You get knocked out. They told you this guy's a joke. You get beat up by a 58-year-old. The third scenario here is it goes to decision. That's a disaster and nobody's coming back. That's a disaster business-wise for Netflix. It's a disaster for Jake Paul. Went to decision with 58-year-old Mike Tyson. The only person who wins is not Netflix, not Jake Paul. Mike Tyson wins. He can do no wrong. He gets knocked out. Yeah, he's 58. Still getting paid. He beats Jake Paul. Yeah, all the old guys are like, yeah, daddy. Goes to decision, Mike Tyson wins. For Netflix, dude, I don't know. Let's say Mike Tyson wins. What are you going to do? What's next? Mike Tyson and then Logan Paul to revenge his brother? And then Mike Tyson, KSI? That's the business model? Okay.
Furthermore, UFC commentator Joe Rogan shared that he is terrified of Mike Tyson, given that he can still hit the pads at that speed and strength at his age. Rogan was surprised to see Tyson's transformation after the Roy Jones fight in 2020.
Mike Tyson in his prime had been like reignited, whatever it was. I'm like, no, I need a wider table. I was nervous in the room with him. Like, you could tell he's ready to go. I don't give a fuck if he's 55. Like 55 in 2021 is not 55 from like 1988. It's not the same thing.
Still fucking hurt when they hit your fucking head.
You watch him hit pads. Have you seen him hit pads with Rafael Cordero? It's terrifying. It's fucking terrifying. Not terrifying because he's 55. Terrifying.
Jake Paul is coming in the ring against Iron Mike to prove that he has a better boxing style than Tyson. On the contrary, Mike Tyson shared that Larry Holmes and Trevor Berbick never put in the work to beat him when he upset both of them. Tyson acknowledged that Jake Paul may be qualified to beat him, but he is fully prepared for any outcome.
If Jake Paul get in that ring and start trying to prove a point in that fight, man, I'm just telling you, the younger generation, man, how we look at you, we ain't trying to see that, man. We trying to see, like if he get in there trying to prove something, it's like the Larry Holmes, Trevor Berbick thing. Well, that's how we looking at you in terms of like, hey man, y'all get a good put on a good show for the people, but
listen, Larry Holmes and Trevor Berbick didn't put in the work that I put in when they fought me. You know, they just didn't put in that work, and not only that, they just weren't qualified to beat me at their best. They just weren't qualified to beat me. See, I train all day. I box and train all day, stay in shape.
On the other hand, former basketball player Matt Barnes interviewed a few individuals about Mike Tyson, and he was surprised to hear the responses from them. Anyone could be safe and sound in the room, but once they say something wrong in the presence of Mike Tyson, then they are in a world of trouble. Their responses highlight the animal hidden within Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson was out there, Darryl Strawberry, Dwight Gooden, yourself.
Yeah, and we all went to the same place. He's not here. That was the hottest place, hottest. Boy, I'll tell you what.
Hey, that says it all right there.
Taking it back. You got Mike Tyson. You got everybody, and there's somebody.
Yeah, there.
You gotta be careful around Mike.
Both of y'all together.
Yeah, but no, Mike's a good guy.
I'm thinking about that right now. Like, you worrying about Mike. I've been in the room with Mike, and I'm in the room with y'all. Shit, I don't know how I was sitting there between both
Mike,
of y'all.
man, listen, you go with Mike sometimes, and listen, he's a great guy, love him to death, and we have a great relationship, but you may say the wrong thing, and you don't even know it. And then all of a sudden, your is in trouble.
Do you think Mike Tyson can upset Jake Paul? Will Mike's speed and agility be enough to keep up with Jake Paul's energy? We would love to hear your thoughts. Let us know in the comments section below and subscribe for more content like this.